I'm up. Oh my god. Oh man, when's the last time I've uploaded? Oh shit. Matchups. Yeah. Let's talk about matchups. Now, what exactly is a matchup? Matchups are when you use strategy and previous game knowledge to beat a specific character. Many players draw a distinction between player matchups and character matchups, with player matchups being changing your strategy to exploit your opponent's habits as a player, while character matchups are used to exploit the character flaws and shortcomings. I'm gonna conflate the two anyway. I mean, they might as well be the same thing. Wait, how can we even tell if the matchup is good or bad? Well, obviously, if I'm losing the match, then the matchup sucks. If I win the matchup's free. All your matches should be determined from fighting a single player. Nothing says well-informed like getting all your info from one source. So now that you know the matchup, it's time to move on to somebody else. Players refer to the strategy of learning matchups as the one and done. This is where you win one match and then leave. Players love getting one and done, especially if you play in an unorthodox way. But glad, how can I determine the matchup if I've never fought the character? I don't know, just throw out numbers. 8-2, 7-3, 10-0. I mean, they're all arbitrary. They're about as arbitrary as plus frames. You also have the popular games that are played so much that they have real statistic averages on how these matches will go. These should be ignored. After all these players, they're not me. So looking at these statistics is a complete waste of time. After all, they don't use the same controller as you. They don't have the same play style as you. Hell, they don't pick the same color as you. Like, come on. What should we do when we're losing the matchup? I know, I should mash. Mashing's a great strategy if you don't know how to fight your opponent. Mashing's especially good if you have a DP. You should mash DP regardless of where your opponent is. And if it whiffs, do it again. Most players don't know how to block the DP frame trap anyway. If you're playing an anime game, now's the time to burst. Can't ever lose if you never lose your turn. Isn't this basically the worst thing you could do against a human opponent who knows what they're doing? Nah, you should burst as soon as possible, regardless of the fact that you're getting comboed full screen. Not only that, but make sure to OS. Now, what exactly is an OS? OS is short for the term option select. It's basically when you're doing two things at the same time. Now, what is the best option select you can do? Up back. Not only are you jumping out of pressure, but you're also moving away from your opponent. As long as you incorporate mashing and up back, I guarantee you won't even have to learn most of these matchups. Maybe I should ask the person who keeps beating me for some advice. This is a terrible idea. Why would someone who's beating you ever give you advice on the matchup? They're trying to win more games. Teaching you how to play the game better is counterintuitive to that. All you'll be is a harder opponent for them to fight. What if it's a casual setting between me and them where there's literally no stakes in the matter? But there is something I'd lose. How cool it'll look if I win without ever asking for any advice. I know I can win this match without asking for any help, so I'm not going to. When it comes to asking for advice, I always recommend the don't ask, don't tell policy, where you don't ask and they don't tell you. Why bother asking another player? Most players hide their tech anyway, so asking for help is a waste of time. Well, maybe I should use the internet to see if there are websites or forums dedicated to improving the matchup. Yeah, like those are accurate. Unless I made it, obviously. Now, giving advice, on the other hand, that's completely different. You know how to talk about the don't ask, don't tell policy? That's only for asking for advice. Now, for giving advice, the question is, should I give the advice now or later? And the answer is both. You should always give out advice regardless of the situation. Players love unsolicited advice. They definitely couldn't have figured out that was an overhead without your help. Good thing you were here to point that out. Now, there are some characters who have interesting matchup spreads. Yeah, interesting. Matches that make you question the developer intended this character to just beat everybody without a second thought. These are top tiers. Now that we know what a top tier is, the question is, how do we beat a top tier? Oh, fuck, that's an actually hard question. I mean, that's the neat part. You don't even bother fighting them. You're basically guaranteed to lose. Unless you yourself are playing a top tier, don't ever really expect to win any matches. If you do play a top tier though, there is a technique that you absolutely must learn. Downplaying the matchup. Now, why would we want to downplay a matchup that we're already winning? Simple. So it stays that way. If we keep downplaying the matchup, the developers will think that the character's not even that good. Hell, if we downplay the matchup hard enough, we might even get random buffs. Now, what about the other side of the spectrum of lopsided matchups? Bottom tiers. Now, bottom tiers are the exact opposite of top tiers. Basically, if you play a bottom tier, prepare to just lose every match. There has never been a bottom tier in a fighting game who's ever been any good. So why are you even picking them? If you play a bottom tier, I highly recommend learning how to subvert matchups. For example, a great way to subvert a matchup is just ducking the matchup. How can a matchup be hard if you never have to play it? Wait, wouldn't this hamper our growth as a player? Not at all. Every time you duck, you don't have to play that match. And you can spend that time playing matchups you actually want to learn. Let's see, how else can we subvert the matchup? Oh, I know. Let's pick a pocket character. Pocket characters are great for subverting the matchups you're not good at. Now, why would we pick a pocket character instead of learning the match with our own character? If I do this, then I'm gonna have to learn a completely new character on top of learning a matchup I'm not comfortable with. But who cares about that? Think about how cool it would be if I beat someone with another character. Now, who to pick as a pocket character? Well, if I only struggle with one matchup, maybe I should play a character who's specifically good for that situation. Wait a minute, I have an even better idea. Let's just pick a top tier. After all, not only are all top tiers easy, almost nobody has any experience fighting them. So when they fight mine, it's going to be a steamroll. Now, what's the best way for me to learn my pocket character? Let's put in more hours into our pocket character than our main. After all, I can't be playing them all the time, and I only have a limited amount of time to train in this game, let alone learn a matchup. So let's just put all of our time into the pocket character. Wait a minute, now that I put so many hours into my pocket character, my main is now completely garbage. Oh well, let's just drop one of the characters. It's not like a pocket character's ever won a major anyway. And I still have one strategy that never fails. Bitching. What is bitching? Bitching is when you complain about a character throughout or after the match. Now, you're probably wondering, how is this useful in any way, shape, or form? Well, you see, this tech is the ultimate subversion of the matchup. Losing the matchup? Head to Twitter. Tweet about how unfun the character is and why they should be nerfed. While you're there, insult the skill of the player who beat you. That'll definitely get them to see you as a rational thinking person who isn't just salty from losing a set. And if people complain enough about the character, they'll get nerfed. And they might not even be good in the first place. Hopefully they get so gutted that people just drop the character entirely. So many people will drop the character that you won't even have to learn the matchup. Not only would you not have to play the matchup anymore, you might not even see the character anymore. What if my game doesn't get patched anymore? There's no way to nerf that character. That's okay. It can lead to the next best thing. That character getting banned. Why have to learn the matchup when the matchup no longer is legal? Wouldn't getting a character banned be an entire community effort where everyone has to come together and decide that the character existing is hurting the health of the game and the player base? You're thinking way too hard about this. The answer is really simple. If I don't like them, they should be banned. And at the end of the day, you can't lose the matchup if you don't play the match. I uploaded. Haha. Yeah, sorry for not uploading. I've been a little sad as of late, and it kind of made it hard for me to make videos. I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm gonna go back to the regular schedule, upload as much as I can instead of, so it's not gonna be monthly uploads, I hope. So this is just for anyone who was curious what happened and why you haven't seen me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.